Hi, if you're watching this video, it's because you've been invited to join our Eagles group. Now, hopefully whoever your connection within the group is has already given you sort of a brief outline of what the Eagles group is, and I'm here to talk about kind of more in detail what you should expect if you're thinking about joining us. Now, my name is Andrew Mount, and I'm actually the first member, founding member, if you will, of the Eagles group here in Norman. And you should already have a copy of the little contract that we have. It looks like this. It has a little eagle in the background. It's all very nice. And honestly, the group, it's not too formal or anything, but it does help to write things down just to make sure that expectations are clear so that nobody feels like they've gotten pulled into anything that they weren't ready for. So I'll go down, follow with me, if you will, if you care to. There's a little quote, couple of quotes up at the top of the contract, and you can read those. It's whatever. The first one is kind of the idea behind the group. Is that 5 years from now you'll be the same person you are today, except for the books you read and the people you meet. And so the why of this group, the reason that I got it together is because I wanted to meet good people and read good books, so that 5 years from now I'll be in a good place. The first point, really easy, the weekly meeting time, 6:30 to 7:30 is what it is right now. At the consensus of the group. It might change. There's no day set to it yet because, again, that can be changed later for consensus. So whatever day and time you see on there, that's what it'll be. Promptly. Promptly means that we're there at 6:30 in the morning, which is hopefully early enough that anybody with work or school commitments will still be able to make it, and that we're done at 7:30. We're not, as many of us may be friends, we're not just a bunch of friends getting together to kind of hang out indefinitely. Obviously, people are going to have things to do, and we don't want to burn ourselves out. We don't want to take up too much of your time. So just an hour, 6:30, and when the clock, the watch, the cell phone, whatever, hits 7:30, we're done. Done right then. You can leave, absolutely. And yeah, and make sure you're there on time too. 6:35. You only have an hour once a week. It's not, you don't want to show up at 6:35, 6:45, something like that. So that we get a full hour together because we all enjoy each other's company. Second is the purpose. It's kind of a longer thing, but I already kind of went over the purpose is to good books, good people, personal growth is the idea. Because a lot of the way that people of our age, young adults, I'm assuming we're mostly going to stay in the young adult area. I'm 21, so probably around there. A lot of young adults have very active social lives, but we don't have very active, dare I say, serious social lives. Personal growth lives outside of ourselves. Certainly people have book clubs or Sunday school classes or whatever that they might go to that fill that sort of role, and that's kind of what this is, although this is neither Sunday school class nor Bible study nor book club, anything like that. So yeah, the purpose, accountability and encouragement. We're not trying to get a bunch of people who think the same thing together. We want to be iron sharpening iron, and here's the diversity part. And that's probably all that's really important there. The next part is the relationship. It's not curriculum driven. So although books or videos or TED Talks or whatever interesting quotes, whatever the subject is for the day, is not necessarily something that you have to stick to 100%, because the overall purpose of the group, again, is to grow as people. And so the only extent to which we are successful in that is the extent to which we focus on the people. And so the material is a mechanism, and you can kind of read there the kind of stuff that we're thinking about, but it's not the purpose. So I don't want people to get peeved if we launch off into other relevant subjects relevant to our lives. Number 4, tools, kind of outlines a little bit more. Books, videos, teaching material. Within books, it's probably fiction or nonfiction. conceivably, it could be either one of those. It could be a lot of things. To me, the ending is the important part. One that we only cover about a medium-sized chapter per week in a book, or the equivalent. I don't necessarily think that we're going to be wanting to, we don't want to cover a book a week so that everyone has to read that much, or a 1-hour video or anything like that. We want it to be small pieces of material for an expanded discussion. The subjects are the important part here. Your relationships, leadership, spirituality, money, personal growth, other subjects. But you kind of get the idea there that it's things that are supposed to be applicable to lives, because we're talking about growing as people, and our focus is the people. Good people, good books, all that stuff. So an example of what we wouldn't want is to read Lord of the Rings and talk about symbolism in Lord of the Rings, because then you're a book club, and that doesn't really have anything to do with us. Maybe it might. Maybe there's like an excerpt, half a chapter from Lord of the Rings that you really think is significant to people like us, or something. I don't know. Maybe. That's why I said conceivably it could be just about anything. But you'd have to lead the discussion in the correct way if you're in charge of leading the discussion. Which happens if you're the one who recommends the material for that week. And the other thing about it is you also don't want to, I don't want to act like, I'm just saying boo fiction and it's only nonfiction things, because there's a danger on that side too. And that's that if you want to, read the complete works of Nietzsche, talk about philosophy, Plato and Socrates. That's all well and good, but I've been through my philosophy classes in college. Thank you very much. And I again don't necessarily. We don't want to be at a point where we're all sitting around talking about something that doesn't have to do with any of us. And so if you want to take a little bit of like a really heavy duty book like that, Aristotle or Nietzsche or some crazy textbook or something, then, or if you want to do something fiction, whatever it is that you're thinking of doing, the idea is for it to be immediately applicable to the people, to their lives, to growing, so that they can leave the meeting that week with something new, with a new perspective on their lives. And so although we certainly are addressing the bigger questions, we want to attack it on a small and personal level. We want it to be relevant to us. I can't stress that enough, because I know sometimes there's a tendency for people who get together to discuss things to get in kind of a intellectual spitting contest, if you will. That's not necessarily, again, we'll address bigger questions, but on a personal level. Next is the group makeup. 8 people. I have set an arbitrary cap at 8 people. I want to keep it kind of small. And it's a closed group, and all that means is that it's not coming and going. You're not adding people every week, getting rid of people, whatever. That's what it is. It stays with the same people. And the reason for that is if you interact with the same people from week to week to week, then you can get to know them. And even if they're not your best friends since high school, even if there's some guy that you met in Norman at this crazy Eagle Group thing, you can get to know them and get to know their lives, because we'll be talking about our lives and ourselves, and hopefully forming relationships with each other that are not common among adults of our age, young adults. You don't usually have these, kinds of relationships with people. These, the relationship we're trying to make, something where it's, deep, personal, and we can get together and be positive influence on each other's lives, and grow together. That sort of thing. Let's see, 8 people max, closed group. I'm skipping around, so make sure you read through this yourself. It's really short. It's only 1 page long. We expect to be responsive to personal. Okay, yeah. So, number 6, commitment. Commitment. This is the important part. I said before that it's not formal, and it's not formal, but it is serious, and I want it to be a serious thing, and that's where the commitment comes in. The commitment. 1 semester. We're going by semesters because we're in a college town, and many of the first wave of people that I'm going to send this out to are college students. and so we want to work around a schedule that is convenient for college students. So it's 1 semester with right to renew. That means that the first time, that when you sign this little piece of paper, what you're saying is, for this entire semester, I am committed to being at these meetings. The reason we split it into semesters is because there's breaks between those. The group will not officially, I mean, if there's people around that want to, then they can, but there's no official operation that we're holding people accountable to during, say, winter break, spring break, summer break, those extended breaks that'll go beyond just a Monday or a Friday off. The commitment is that you'll be there 80%, at least 80% of the time. A good way to measure that is if you're not sick and if you're not on vacation, you should be there. Because you should want to be there, right? And if you don't want to be there, then I don't even know why I'm sending you this video. Go play World of Warcraft or whatever it is you kids do these days. It says there are no meetings during extended school breaks. So yeah, the commitment is 1 semester. You renew every semester. And I mentioned this, I forgot this number 5. This is kind of with the commitment. New members can be added with group consensus. That means, if somebody wants to invite somebody and we all agree that, we can add another person, then we do that. We'll do that on a semesterly basis too. At least on a semesterly basis, maybe more often than that. Last one is moving on. If you reach a season in your life where you recognize you need to move on, just let us know. Obviously, if you're moving on completely, I mean, if you're moving away, or if you can't do it anymore, whatever, life is getting crazy, and you just want to leave and say goodbye, good luck with everything, we will do that to you as well. We'll say goodbye, good luck with everything, have a good life, all that stuff. That's pretty much it. So, hope this works out well. I'm going to send this video to 1, 2, 3, 4 people today. And hopefully, if you're seeing this in the future, you're somebody that I don't know, and you will soon be somebody that I do know. I look forward to meeting you.